everyone, Nick here. Hope you guys are all doing very well. And in celebration of my 100th video uploaded to this channel, I figured I'd do something very different. So instead of the normal video topic, I will be sharing the story of how I got my internship at Tesla Motors last summer, and I'll actually be returning there this summer, so putting two and two together, now is by far the best time to share the story. One, not only to help grow my channel a little bit, but two, it's by far the most asked question I get on my LinkedIn or through my website, so I think now is a great time to address it. I'll be walking you guys through my interview process, how I actually got the job in the first place, and finally what I really liked and what I disliked about the entire process. So without further ado, I really hope you guys enjoy. Anyways, diving right into the main story, this all took place when I was a freshman, and I'm currently a sophomore at UC Berkeley studying electrical engineering and computer science. But all of this was last year, and it was my very first time in any university setting, and I was around thousands of kids who were all fluffing up their resumes, sending them out to recruiters, and applying to hundreds of places. One of my really good friends actually had made this elaborate Excel spreadsheet with over 100 different jobs he was applying to, and there I was. I didn't even have a LinkedIn. I didn't know what I wanted to do for an internship, and just as a bit of background, working there has been, is, and will forever be my dream. It is so inspiring to learn from some of the brightest minds in the field, and I'm just such a passionate fan of what Tesla does and their mission to change the world, so it was my #1 goal as a college student. So I sent out my application, waited a few weeks, didn't hear anything. Unfortunately, it was pretty, I'm not even gonna lie, it was pretty depressing because that was the one company I wanted to work for so badly, and I hadn't heard anything up until this point, and a lot of my other friends were starting to hear back from some startups or some big companies themselves, and so it was tough. But luckily, I didn't hear back, but my school had a career fair, and the first thing I did was I ran to the career fair. I was the very first one there. I still remember it. I was the very first one there, printed out like 10 copies of my resume, and I ran to the Tesla booth. Thankfully, Tesla actually ended up coming. I ran there, I went up to her, and I said, you know, here's my resume. And 2 weeks after I had sent her an email with my resume and an updated copy of everything, I got a ping for an interview, and it was such a wonderful feeling. Now, in regards to my interviews, I actually had four, I think. Yeah, I had 4 interviews in total before I was given the job offer, and the first 3 were technical. So that means that they were asking me anything from brain teasers to designing algorithms for certain types of situations, right? I remember like an example question that's pretty widespread is like, you're trying to shuffle cards and assume that I give you 10 cards to deal, right? 10 unique positions all filled with 10 cards, and you have to perfectly shuffle all of them, right? So once you perfectly shuffle all of them, every single card has to be in a different index or position than the one it was previously in. So that's a sample question, very popular in a bunch of software engineering interviews, stuff like that, a bunch of brain teasers. After my 3rd interview, I was pretty confident that I did not get it. My 3rd interview was excruciatingly hard. I didn't really know what I was doing. A lot of algorithmic stuff that they were asking me. But what I managed to do that they really liked was I would walk myself through the problem, and anytime I hit a roadblock, I'd be like, look, you know, you got me. The question is really hard, but I'm just gonna take a step back, really think about it, and then walk myself through the problem. And if I get it wrong, fine, but I'm just gonna try my best to be as methodical and as thoughtful as possible. And they ended up really liking it. And then finally, 3 weeks later, I was sitting on a couch with a bunch of my friends. We were just watching the Warriors game, and I got an email that said I was hired and they were offering me the internship position for my first year. And it's a surreal experience. A lot of you guys who have either been given offers to join an internship or are in that process know what it feels like. It's a truly tremendous feeling to have a company that you desperately want to work for that sees value in you and they extend you a job offer. You guys have to witness it for yourself. It's truly amazing, and that's like possibly maybe in like the top 10 best days of my life. So it was a great experience. Now, being fully honest, there was not much at all that I didn't like about working there. I would say the one thing is that you will soon learn that as an engineering intern, one of the biggest things that companies use to lure you in is competitive salary, huge benefits. They'll be like, we're gonna pay you $5,000 a month to live in this San Francisco high-rise apartment building. We're gonna be paying you $50 an hour. You're gonna get free breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We're gonna Uber you home, and we're gonna Uber you back to the office, and so on and so forth, and the list goes on. But at a company like Tesla, we're super scrappy, we have such a lean workforce, and yet we have to compete with the likes of BMW, Audi, Mercedes, these huge manufacturing and production giants. That being said, they can't really afford much for an intern. They can't offer an intern so much when it comes to amenities or facilities or huge benefits, right? But it also has a lot to do with the type of person that's working there. If you're into that kind of stuff, then sure, maybe it's not the best place for you. But if all you care about is getting an amazing project, working with some pretty spectacular people, and just keeping your head down and grinding through an immense amount of work that you love doing, then Tesla is by far the perfect place for you. With that being said, I really hope you guys enjoy this. I know a lot of what I said is a bit rambly, and I went off on a couple of tangents, but I want it to be as straightforward and authentic with you guys as I could. And I felt a big part of that was not writing a script up or not trying to make it fake in any way, shape, or form. So I hope you guys enjoyed. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for making it this far. Click my links down below to read my Huffington Post articles and follow me on social media when you can. Thanks, guys.